gave up.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I got some answers. Because I have, and I'm pretty sure all of you all have. And I think that we all come to a point in our lives where we think, like, there's no hope for me, like, nothing is going out good, so I'm just gonna give up. And having gone through some hardships in my life recently, I prayed and I prayed, but I've not exactly had hope. And what I've learned is it's all throughout the Bible that we do go through like hard times and so much stress that we do lose hope. But Jesus will never lose hope in you. We lose hope and we think that nothing good is ever going to happen. But believe it or not, Jesus looks at you and he says that he does have hope for you and he does have a plan for you. And even when we do not believe that promise, Jesus will continue to believe that promise for us. And I am grateful to say that no matter how hard life gets or how stressed we get and how far away that we stray from him, that he is still there saying, like, I do have a plan for you. You will have a future. And one thing that I've learned is simply that things don't just come together, that Jesus brings things all together for good. So I have a story in the Bible to share with you guys today. It's of a man named Jairus. And Jairus was a religious leader in Jesus' time. And he not only had authority over the church, he also had a lot of political authority. And they didn't have all of the authority, but they had enough authority. And they had a lot of money and a lot of access. And he was a Jewish leader. But all the power and all the money in the world and all the connections will not always solve your problems. And Jairus had a problem that nothing could really solve. He had a daughter and she was 12 years old. She was an only child and he loved her dearly. And this 12-year-old daughter became ill, but the disease was progressing fast and Jairus could see that it was beginning to steal her life away. And he knew that she was going to die shortly. And so without a doubt, he went to whoever that he could. He had them come pray for her, and he tried medication. He literally did anything to save his daughter. But after many tries, nothing worked. So then he heard about a man named Jesus. And we see in Mark 5:22, then one man of the synagogue leaders named Jairus came. And when he saw Jesus, he fell at his feet. He pleaded, "My daughter is dying. Please come and put your hands on her, so that she will be healed and live." So Jesus went to him. So now we have a picture of Jairus down on his hands and knees and at Jesus' feet and begging him to come heal his daughter. And Jesus is probably like, yeah, no problemo, man. Like, I got you. I will come heal your daughter. And so when he starts to go to Jairus' house, something strange happened. And in fact, it's probably Jairus' worst nightmare. And so Jairus is pulling Jesus. Okay, Jesus, let's go. We're in a hurry. My daughter's dying at my house. We need to go. You need to come save her. Like, Jesus, let's go. And he was taking Jesus in a hurry when Jesus just stopped. And he turns to the crowd and he said, "Somebody touched me." And so Jairus has got to be like, are you serious? You're concerned about this crowd right now? Like, do you not see what's happening? You're taking my time. You're taking your time that you could be saving my daughter. Like, let's go, Jesus. She's going to die. She does not have much time. So then Jesus began to speak to the lady. And Jairus probably again is like, no, do not speak to her. You can come back anytime that you want to, for however long that you want to. But right now, we have to go and see my daughter before she dies. And Jesus begins to continue to speak to this lady. And then in Mark 5:35, Jesus was still speaking. Some people came from the house of Jairus. "Your daughter is dying, and she's dead," they said. "Why bother the teacher anymore?" And we all know that the human body is not really built to receive that kind of news. And so we just get, like, we're all a bundled up ball of emotions. And suddenly his world flipped upside down. And that's exactly what happened to Jairus when he received the news that his daughter died. And he became very upset. He said, he's probably like, "Dude, I told you my daughter is dying. I told you she needed you. Instead, you chose to talk to these people and all these people instead of going to see my daughter. And now it's way too late." we've done that in our own lives, where we say, okay, God, this is what you have to do for me, and this is when you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it doesn't happen, or he doesn't meet our deadline or whatever, everything breaks apart, and we say, see, I had hoped that you would help me, but you didn't. I had hoped that you would. And you said that you'd take care of me, but it doesn't seem like you are. So all of us understand Jairus' deep frustration in this, right? So Jairus has lost hope. But Jesus did not lose hope in him. Just as we see in the next sentence, Jesus told him, do not be afraid, just believe. But remember, Jairus had just gotten the news that his daughter died. So to him, it's not much about healing anymore. To him, healing is no good. But Jesus tells him, do not be afraid, and just believe. And when Jesus tells me that, I just think, well, there's nothing good now. Like, I'm already afraid. There's no going back. But here he is, insisting for us not to be afraid, but to believe, and then his daughter will be healed. He did not let anyone follow him except Peter, James, and John, and the brother of James. When they came to the home of Jairus, Jesus saw the people crying and wailing loudly. He went in and said to them, why all this commotion and wailing? The child is not dead, but asleep. But they laughed at him. And all of us have people in our lives that as soon as something goes wrong, they say, oh, I knew that would happen. I saw this coming. Like, yeah, I saw it coming. But if you reply and say, yes, like, I am going to make it, Jesus still has hope for me, and I believe that he has a different plan than what might seem evident right now. And what do? Most people will laugh at you and say, oh, you're delusional, like, accept reality. He took the child's father and mother and the disciples who were with him and went in where the child was. He took her by the hand and said to her, little girl, I say to you, get up. Immediately the girl stood up and began to walk around. At this they were completely astonished. He gave strict orders not to let anyone know about this, and told them to give her something to eat. And that story seems to happen every time somebody loses hope. They realize that Jesus never loses hope. After they stopped working for and what they thought would happen, Jesus never stopped working for what he thought was going to happen. So in that moment, Jesus tells the parents, don't tell anyone. When pretty soon daughter's going to get up, she's going to go outside, she's going to play, and everybody's going to be shocked because they knew that she was dead. But then they will soon know that they don't have to say a thing to anybody because the little girl will speak for herself, and everybody is going to know that she's with Jesus and that she had met Jesus, and that is what happened. And I'm going to tell you the same thing in your life as it is in my life, that you don't have to say a thing, because when you emerge from darkness and hopelessness, everybody is going to look at you and they will remember what you said when you said, Jesus will bring me through this. Jesus has not lost hope in me. And so when they see that Jesus has indeed brought you through that, they will know that the only one who could have ever brought you through that was Jesus, and not the people who didn't believe in you or had ever doubted you. And it was Jesus, the one who had never lost hope in you. So I'm going to pray, and then we're going to go to Dairy Queen.